Judgment is a disease, and let me explain why. You find yourself judging people more than likely than giving them a compliment because it's just kind of the way that everyone is nowadays. That doesn't have to be the case. And to kind of break this down, back in high school, we had a teacher. I didn't have her, but man, was her energy radiating. Kind, loving, supportive teacher. And one of the biggest things that I found with her was just how radiant she was and how it was a beautiful thing to witness at a young age that was very suicidal and such like that. I'm not anymore. But one of the things growing up was understanding judgment and I've been reading this in one of my latest books that I've been reading called How to Influence Friends and Win. No, it's How to Influence People and Win Friends. And it went over this one part that was really just judging and pointing the finger. And it was over Abraham Lincoln. Over this category, it was talking about how I'm totally gonna butcher it, but listen, this is real like sauce. Like just reading this book is not what I thought was gonna be in this book, and just reading it, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually sauce. This is powerful. And it talked about the part of Abraham Lincoln when back in the day before he became president, or it was during his presidency, I'm more than certain it was. It was about how one of his generals, actually no, it was before that. I don't even know who this guy was, but he was I'll just call him a poem writer. He wrote stories, he wrote something, and Abraham did not like it. So instead of just leaving it as be as in a disagreement of like, man, I don't really resonate with that, I just leave it as is, he decided to write his own little letter about it. And he then sent it to this man, and it got to a point where they just were bickering back and forth. And when he trying to get comfortable, when he began to send these letters, it got to a point where they both got into a duel. And back then, I don't even know if they had pistols, but they had swords, and they got into a duel, and we're pretty much gonna fight to death, and whoever the winner was won the fight. And at the end of it, it got to a point where his wife, or some women that was like associated with Abraham and I think with the other guy, broke it up. And that was like his learning lesson of judgment, of when you judge other people's work, when you judge other people, and it's good to judge other people's work, that's a different conversation. Like criticism is good. We need that in this day and age because a lot of people are soft. Just gonna put that there. But the story really resonated with me to speak about how judgment is completely foretelling how you live your life and how people around you associate with you. And I'll get into a personal experience recently a little bit later, but eventually later on, Abraham learned that judgment is not something to really not be about, if that makes sense. He would go on about how he had another experience when he was president. I don't know if that was associated then and now, but in the story at this point, he was. And he learned this lesson of judging other people for their actions is not something always okay to do. And one of the generals, they were in this fight, this war. I don't know, I'm not good with history, but one of the generals was like in the same town as their arch enemy. I don't know the names. I'll just call the general General Daryl and the target is Steve. And Abraham wants to get at Steve because Daryl, the General Daryl, is so close that he could go and just kill him because he has no guards. His defenses are down. Like he is an open target. Go get him. And Abraham was writing this angry letter at him, of you need to go fight Steve. Steve has his defenses down. Do it now. And he didn't send that letter because he realized just in his own personal experience that being judgmental, and he had to take a step back. And this is when it really becomes a principle of a life lesson that anyone can learn. If you read that book, it would be 10 times more clear than the way I'm saying it. But the way that through that personal experience of always sending hate mail, being judgmental to other people's work, the way other people are doing things, and they weren't Abraham's way, then he learned to not do that, because when you judge other people, you become this negative image in these other people's mind. And sometimes if it's a criticism way, it makes sense. But the reason why Abraham decided to not send that hate mail or that hate message to General Daryl, because he didn't think about the fact of how much blood and how much soldiers died in the fights, and how much blood that General Daryl is seeing. And it made him realize that it can really make a man cold. It can really make a man not want to always live in that environment, because it's terrible. I mean, I think we all can agree on that. Like, that's an environment we all don't want to be in. Like, that's not humane. That's anger. That's war. That's fighting for territory, etc. You get it. And then he got to understand General Daryl's perspective, and that could have ended the entire war if they just killed Steve. But Abraham realized that Daryl has seen so much that just sending that would send him over. And I think later on in life, he ended up offing himself. I could be completely wrong. I'm just going to stop talking about it. But eventually, the war kept going on because they did not kill him. They didn't kill Steve, the enemy. And just seeing that little perspective of history showing itself in a very noble man. My personal opinion, I think Abraham's a very noble man, in the way that he carries himself after like those life, because he is like everyone else. Everyone else has these opportunities of change and direction. And also, one of the coolest things I learned about that story was Abraham never sent the letter. He never sent that angry letter. It was in like his desk when he died. Like, he just kept it. He didn't send it. He just felt like he needed to write it, like he needed to journal it and just get those thoughts out of his head. And then he realized, I don't need to send this, because he took a step back and really understood General Daryl's perspective on where he's at right now, what's going on and stuff. And I think that's what a lot of people lack in this day and age. They lack the empathy of understanding others before they decide to point the fingers, before they decide to really be negative and really jab and target other people. And one of the things I really learned in that perspective of reading that was how, and I'm going to go into my personal experience with this. I'm not going to call out names, but some people that are close to someone that I'm close with were judging my content, and they judged my videos. I'm sure it's my Instagram videos. They're really old. It was very cringy, and I get it. Yeah, it's super cringy. But that's where you start. That's originally where you start everything, is when you start posting and you have no idea what you're doing. And that's what I love about it. Like, I look back on it, I'm like, like I just get that, like, that energy of like, man, I had so much ambition starting that like I didn't care whatever I posted. I didn't think about my my footprint, digital fingerprint, footprint. I think it's footprint. Yeah, I didn't care about it. I didn't genuinely care of what other people thought about me. And it's a good trait to have, because I was a very shy kid growing up, and it made me grow. It really made me blossom as who I am, to be able to speak and to really try my best to fluently speak, where I'm not like or you know, even though I still have those, but like it took effort to where I'm not like okay, so this like, you know, in growth, like it's all part of that. But that judgment, you can either take it as criticism, as in like, okay, yeah, I need to do better, or you'll take it as criticism as, damn, I'm getting judged, I should stop, I should not really continue what I'm doing, you know. And that's the wrong mindset. Just to kind of give a perspective between those two, think as it as criticism to do better, to know that, hey, someone's actually watching this, like that's great. Like, and it could be people that are your friends, your family members. Like, that's an experience of its own. And it's kind of funny, if you make content all alone on that, the people that are close to, whether it's your family members, like I have family that follow me on here. I have friends that watch my content that I graduated with, or just in high school. I'm sure people from high school see my shit, and I don't care. Like, it just comes down at the end of the day, like, okay, like, you want to send me like, yo, I just watched your video, it was so motivational, or like it really brought a new perspective to me. Like, that's what I look for. And if I don't get that, that's okay. Like at the end of the day, that's okay. And you gotta understand, like, judgment is gonna come at you with everything that you do, and everything that you move in life. You're always gonna be judged. There's always gonna be someone that's gonna want to hold you back. There's always gonna be someone that's gonna see you're doing better than them. And at the end of the day, that's up to you. That's up to you to make a different perspective out of it. And if you need to change those environments, change those friends, change those family, whatever it is, you got to do that. There was one point in my life where I had to do that with my family. Even though there's a whole story behind it, but I'm not going into it. Even friends, like, I'm not as very close with my high school friends as I was in high school because I've changed a lot about myself, whether it's like the way that I think, the way that I do, the way that I live my day-to-day life. It's not perfect, but it's definitely something of a change that's going to propel me toward the future me that I see myself in. So to rope back on the topic conversation of judgment as a disease, I truly believe that judgment is a disease, and who you surround yourself with really builds you into the person that you are every day, how you live your life every day, in the way that you think, your subconscious mind. I mean, there's a whole conversation about this, but your subconscious mind is really developed by the way that you do your everyday life things and the things that you listen to. Like, there's so many things that can factor into judgment and how your judgment is built. It can be built by someone's opinion on social media. It could be built by the music you listen to. So many things. People you surround yourself, the music, the environments. I mean, go on and on and on. It even can go down to the smallest details and, like, what colors did you see that day? Anyway, but yeah, I truly believe that judgment is a disease. And that's about it. That's the video. For the rest of this, I appreciate everyone that leaves a like, share it. That'd be great. But if you're not in the Discord community, head over to my profile. I don't know where that shows on YouTube, but just go to my profile. The link will be there. And yeah, we have our Discord in there. I have my 30-day reset. If you're someone that's struggling and wants to, where is it? I had a sticky note for it. It's gone. But anyway, it's a 30-day reset. It's about working out, getting fit. Like, I have a whole diagram of, like, if you want to work on your biceps, okay, we have certain workouts for your biceps. If you want to work out like your chest muscles, we have workouts for your chest muscles and all that. So your legs, arms, chest, abs, all of it. And then another thing is your daily journaling every day. I don't always have this on me, so it's great to have just a digital one on your phone. So I created a resource where it's like a weekly one. Actually, no, it's a daily one. But then I also have our next thing, which is the daily agenda planner, which is just planning out your day, your top 3 priorities, your lowest, your highest, and your lowest, your middle, and your highest. Those 3 really just break out to the point of on your priorities of the day and, like, what do you want it to look like throughout your day. So, but yeah, other than that, that's it. And peace out, y'all. Till the next one, and whenever that happens.